And we begin tonight with breaking news. Police tell us that a boy has died after he was found in critical condition inside of a car in a South Phoenix neighborhood.
12 News journalist Tiani Jadaling is live at the scene. And Tiani, do we know what happened?
Mark Caribe, not exactly. We know officers arrived at this Mountain Trails neighborhood just after 6:30 p.m. When they arrived, they found that child in critical condition. This is just some of what the scene has looked like. This neighborhood has looked like for the past several hours. Officers say the child was located inside a vehicle by his parent. Shortly after he was located, the child was transported to the local hospital where he was pronounced dead. Neighbors tell us this is a very quiet neighborhood and they're shocked and saddened to hear this news.
I felt really bad. I mean, even, for the parents and the family that to find a child unresponsive and then ultimately passing in a vehicle is something that nobody wants to hear, especially a parent, but just very unfortunate to happen, especially here in our neighborhood, which is very quiet.
We don't have any further details other than this is an ongoing investigation. And just before we went live, we saw Phoenix police doing some sort of pat down and taking an individual possibly from the house inside a vehicle and transporting that individual away. But as we hear more from Phoenix police, Phoenix Fire with additional details on what happened in this neighborhood, we will bring those to you here on 12 News. Live in South Phoenix, I'm Tiani Jadaling, 12 News.
All right, Tiani, thank you for that. We continue to track monsoon storms tonight as parts of the valley saw rain earlier this evening.
Show you some video from Sky 12 as those dark clouds started to make their way down into Metro Phoenix. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is live in our weather tracker following any lingering storms out there. Chase, is there anything?
Mark, I'll tell you, it is all calm here on the east side of the valley. We are currently heading west toward Gold Canyon, an area a couple hours ago we did see those dark clouds lingering. We could see lightning, we could hear the thunder and that rain coming down, but looking at the road ahead of us right now, all clear. No slick roads or anything to worry about. Not the most exciting shot, but let's show you some action from earlier in the day. We were seeing a light show in Santan Valley. This video was taken just after 8 o'clock. Lightning happening every couple of minutes with the rains and winds right alongside it. I would say this went on for about 40 minutes. It seemed to be moving southwest from our perspective. Now, we were also even east of the valley today. We were in Globe earlier today where we also saw lightning and a lot more rain going on. This video was taken just after 5 o'clock this afternoon, but it was coming down steadily for hours. Of course, this is the same area where historic flooding tore through last year, claiming the lives of 3 people. Today we saw in the historic downtown area, shops and businesses had those sandbags in case flooding were to happen. They were also will be on alert for tomorrow with potential flooding. But back out here live again, heading west on the 60. Calm conditions, smooth driving, nothing to worry about. We're on our way back to Phoenix right now, and we're excited to see what tomorrow brings, but we'll go ahead and send it back to you guys in studio.
All right, be safe out there, Chase. Thanks. A lot of the time when these monsoon storms hit, we see power outages and some damage, but the storms can also be an absolute thing of beauty. Look at these pictures and videos sent in to us by our 12 News weather watchers. First of all, we want to say thanks for doing that, but just magnificent sunset over the West Valley tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, meteorologist Lindsay Riley is joining us now with what we can expect for tomorrow. Lindsay, do you think it'll be more active than tonight?
It absolutely should be. We are under a flood watch tomorrow across all of south and central Arizona, including the entire valley. And it looks like the timing will be late in the day with some of the thunderstorms actually lingering into the pre-dawn hours. So overnight tomorrow night. So we'll start off quiet early in the day. Here's the big picture. Still 2 clusters of rain out there. Some shower activity around Holbrook, Show Low area, as well as Payson, and it's actually still coming down at a pretty good clip. No severe thunderstorm warnings in this location. And then further to our south and west, Gila Bend, seeing a few lingering showers and thunderstorms. These will begin to wind down. So by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, the radar is going to be mostly clear. But here's a look at the hour by hour. You'll notice as we get into the overnight hours, this is midnight, we're still going to have some showers and storms happening up in the high country, and then mainly down across across Pima County. Fast forward to 3 a.m. We're clear here in the valley. We start off dry early tomorrow morning, but notice there will be some clouds. This is 9 a.m. And then as we get into tomorrow afternoon, this is 1:30. Showers start to pop around the White Mountains and the high country. And once again, the trajectory will be toward the valley and the lower deserts. This is a look at 5 p.m. Could have an isolated shower near the valley at that point, but it actually looks like the main event is going to hold off until late tomorrow night and into the overnight hours. 8:30 tomorrow night. Heavy rain and storms around the Tucson area, and some of that could impact the valley during the overnight Friday night at 1 a.m. So we will be watching that tomorrow. Highest potential will be flooding.
We're gonna say, oh,
A peaceful day for 3 teens out on Saguaro Lake took a turn when the monsoon rolled in on Monday. 12 News journalist Maria Stobbs is here. Maria, thankfully they made it back to shore, but that's not always the case.
That's right, Mark. They were stuck out on the choppy water for nearly a half hour. Thankfully, they were experienced boaters and none of them were hurt, but Lake Patrol says a lot of boaters are not prepared for how fast conditions can change.
we're gonna say, holy.
The sky darkened, the wind picked up, and before long, 3 teens were battling the storm on Saguaro Lake.
Here comes the worst in the rain, bro.
They made it through safely, but Lake Patrol officials say monsoon storms like this can quickly turn dangerous.
We get a ton of 911 calls from people that go into panic mode as soon as it starts raining and storming.
Monday night was no different. Sergeant Rob Marski with MCSO Lake Patrol says the storm generated several calls for help.
It's the wind that catches people off guard.
In 2024, the Coast Guard recorded 97 boating accidents in Arizona, 9 of them fatal. Marski says in Maricopa County, weather is a factor in many of those tragedies.
First thing you're going to want to do is look at the weather report, right? Install a weather app on your phone. Anticipate what's going to happen later on in the afternoon.
And if a storm starts moving in, don't try to outrun it.
It turns into mass chaos at the boat ramp because everyone's fighting for a position and the boats are blowing sideways while they're trying to pull them onto the trailer.
He recommends finding a protected cove to wait out the worst of the weather.
Set your anchor to prevent you from blowing into shore. Let it go, pass by. Then when it's done, just get back on the river and continue your float down.
And as for the teens in the video, they say even though this was their first time being caught on a boat in the middle of a storm, they never felt unsafe because they took boating safety courses. We're live in studio. Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
Maria, thanks. Tomorrow night, the Peoria Unified School District will hold its monthly governing board meeting. It'll be the first meeting since the district offices were raided by Peoria police. The search warrants were issued for an ongoing criminal investigation into a teacher sex scandal. Former Centennial High School teachers Angela Berlacca and Haley Beck have been accused of having an inappropriate relationship with the same student. No criminal charges have been filed. Tomorrow's meeting is at 6 o'clock. We'll have a full recap for you tomorrow night on 12 News at 10.
Opening statements began in the trial for the man accused of shooting a Phoenix police officer over half a dozen times. That officer, Tyler Moldovan, took the stand today. 12 News journalist Sean Rice was in the courtroom when Officer Moldovan took the stand.
Let me see your hands. They're gonna lock me up. Let me see your hands. Do you have a gun? No.
These are the final moments before gunfire echoed through a Phoenix apartment complex back on December 14th, 2021. Prosecutors say Officer Tyler Moldovan found Ezza Williams, a 9-time convicted felon who was on probation as he was wanted for fleeing an arrest for street racing. Williams found hiding on a patio of an apartment unit near 19th Avenue in Camelback. They allege Williams, while on FaceTime with his girlfriend, told this to the officer.
What y'all gonna do? You gonna lock me up?
Before pulling out a handgun and firing 15 rounds.
All of this evidence brings us back to the defendant's own words. What y'all gonna do? You gonna lock me up? That's what the defendant said before he pulled his gun and unloaded 15 rounds at Officer Moldovan.
Prosecutors must prove to the jury that Williams intended to kill Moldovan, proving beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed attempted murder.
Officer Moldovan was laying in a pool of blood from the gunshot wound to his head.
The defense argued officers escalated what began as a traffic investigation and claimed Williams believed he was in danger when Moldovan approached him. His attorney told jurors he was acting in self-defense.
The video clip doesn't show Officer Moldovan's left arm and what he was doing and whether he was raising it in the direction of my client. In Arizona, we have the right to self-defense.
Moldovan took the stand as the very first prosecution witness. A court order prohibited us from showing him on camera. He testified that he has no memory whatsoever of the shooting because of his extensive injuries. He became emotional, recalling when his brother first visited him at a Colorado hospital.
My brother... Sorry. My brother came to visit me. My brother came to visit me in Denver.
His miraculous recovery has been well documented, undergoing several surgeries that ultimately saved his life.
You mentioned you had 2 gunshot wounds to the back behind your ear. Is that right?
Yes.
Right under your hairline on either side?
Correct.
And that was Sean Rice reporting. Essa Williams faces up to 35 years in prison for the attempted murder charge alone. This case is expected to last up to 3 weeks.
Arizona has made career and technical education a major focus, but many of the districts offering those programs are now locked in a legal battle over millions of dollars. Tomorrow morning, our Education Impact team breaks down what schools are doing to try to shield the students from that legal issue as they head back to class and what's at stake if a long-term agreement isn't reached.